Have you been in a relationship with someone that you have been having a difficulty trying to figure them out? Do you know how you can date or be married to somebody and you have not seen their real selves, who they really are, the depths of who this person is? Have you felt something like that? Have you experienced something like that? Or are you the person that nobody has experienced and nobody can figure out, and they have not really experienced the real you? Do you know what I'm talking about? Can you resonate? Can you relate? Today we are talking about intimacy. Hi everybody. Generally known as sex, but today we are not talking about sex. It's PG-13 here, so we are talking about intimacy, which the part of intimacy, which is inability to open up, inability to show someone, even yourself, the real you. You know how we hide ourselves and how we show something to people that we believe is acceptable? Because we are afraid of being judged. So you hide yourself and you depress who you are. You depress the real you because there is a weakness or insecurity in you that you don't want somebody to experience, because it would have been exposed so much when you tried to expose it and you tried to be yourself. Someone, maybe someone you loved, maybe a family member that you respected, and maybe someone you looked up to would be putting you down, belittling you and pointing at your weakness and your insecurities so much and insulting you based on your weaknesses, and therefore you create a boundary. You start calling them boundaries because you want to protect yourself, but the boundary becomes a cage, a whole wall of Jericho magnitude, where you are so barred inside and outside that nobody is unable to come inside, and you are not able to come out. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you do, because you're really trying to protect yourself, because you don't want to continue to get hurt again and again and again. So you are trying to protect yourself, and you erect this wall that you end up caging yourself in it. Then you find yourself lonely, and you wonder, how come I am beautiful but I'm lonely? It's because you're not able to open up to anybody. It is because you have not been able to allow someone to see the real you. You are afraid to open up. You are afraid because of judgment. You are afraid because of the insults that you have experienced, and therefore you look at everyone who comes along, even if they are genuinely in love with you, even if they are genuinely approaching you because they really have love for you, you still think of the person who put you down. You still think of the person who said nobody can love you. You still think of the person who said you are ugly, you are sensitive, you are too fat, you are too short, you're too tall. All of the things that they said about you, you walk around wearing this as a garment, and you are not able to remove them and let somebody in. Even at church, you find that we hide behind these big churches because there we can hide our insecurities. And God is saying, come just as you are. You are not able to come just as you are. You want to fix yourself up and come, because we don't know how to come just as we are. Everybody else is expecting us to come just as they are, and so nobody knows how to be unique, how to be real, how to show their true selves. Today I want to give you tips on how to come out, how to be free. And you can come out now during quarantine, when you are free with your family, whether you are alone or whether you are with your people. I want you to let down, number one, let down your guard. Let down the superpower in control type of person that you are holding out there. Now you are on your own with your family. You can't hide behind happy hour. You can't hide behind going to work. You can't hide behind business. There's nothing to do. You are there, exposed. Allow yourself, allow your family to experience your vulnerability. Allow them to see your weaknesses, the real you. Cry if you must. 2 days ago, my son said something that I loved so much, I peed on myself. I peed, and everybody was like, oh my God, Mom! That is me being real. And I said to them, your father knew that side of me. I'm a big peer when I laugh. So you could avoid laughing if you have that weakness, but not me. So allow yourself to be experienced by your family, the real you. And that's number one. Secondly, tell stories of those painful past that and to your inner circle, your family. They will not judge you. When you let down your guard, when you start telling your life stories to them, the painful ones and the ones that you've been holding together, you allow them to experience you, and you will see how loving and forgiven you feel. You forgive yourself for having held a wrong belief and expectation, false expectation from someone else who put you down. You immediately heal. That is how confession is, because when you get healed by confessing our sins, you might not have done anything, but when you let somebody in on your stories, I call them my what does Minnie call them? The awful, terrible awful. I tell my children what I call my terrible awful. Those deeds that are hectic, that sometimes my daughter's response is always saying, oh, mother, you shady lady, because they are so bad. But I expose them to them and we laugh about them, and I don't feel so bad anymore. The other thing that is very, very important is that in the times that we live in the emoji times, the period that we only know how to respond to people with hearts and winks, and nobody is able to say I love you. Nobody is able to open their mouths and express themselves and their feelings and say something. I want you to learn to open your mouth and to say. If it was said to you, you can say it out. If they told you, you are ugly, you are unloved, I want you to take it off by saying, I am beautiful, I am loved. You see, you say it. At first, it's going to sound fake, and it's going to sound like, oh, this is not important, or it's useless. What's the point? You keep taking off and putting on. You take off the negative that was put in by speaking it out, and you speaking the opposite of that. Every time you keep doing that, and you allow this to happen. So when you say, I am beautiful, I am not ugly, I am beautiful. You see, they said you are ugly, and you said, I am beautiful. You don't have to repeat, I am not ugly. You see, you say, I am beautiful. What you're doing by that, you allow beauty to come into you, and it will show. I am depressed. You are so depressing. You make me sad. You make me depressed. They do that. They're already depressed, but they blame it on you. So you said, I am joyful. I'm peaceful. I am cheerful. I am exciting. I am loved. People love me. People are attracted to me. You say all those things, and you avoid sitting on what they said that was painful, and you move on. When the dust settles and the mask drops, I want you to come out happy knowing who you are, and allowing someone else to love you. There's someone out there who is waiting to love you. There's someone out there who is waiting with open arms to show you that they love you. And that is God, and that is your better half is waiting to find you. But if you are holding yourself hostage because you are not able to intimately allow somebody else to come in, you will be lonely. Don't be lonely. Refuse to be lonely. Say yes to someone. Say yes to freedom. Free yourself from the bondage of insecurity and weaknesses. Don't concentrate on them. Concentrate on the fact that you have good things about you, and elevate all of those and work on all of those, and see how your life will change. You will get fulfillment. And I wish you well as you discover yourself, and as you shed the weight and the load of weaknesses and heaviness that you have acquired over the years as a result of wrong beliefs and words that you have accepted, spoken to you and by yourself. And so, happy leaving, discover yourself and be free. I want you to be free. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to comment and let me know your thoughts. I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, I will see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.